So, what had been going on is gesture without motion. There's the expression of the source. I hope I'm not the only one. I mean, kind of cool, but it'd be nice to have others. Anyways, gesture without motion. There's the expressions, the outlets of all the energy here. And there's the lesser beings, the sentient meat robots without, at their core, they don't have the connection. What they have is like programs, like just instincts. Um, they can mimic, and it's actually been a really crucial part of them to mimic um, us. So we buy in, so we would had bought into they were like us. Now, you look at the education they give in high school, like since you're a kid, high school and then college, you don't learn anything. It's just a bunch of fluff. It's a bunch of I'm putting in a description here, deleted scene from the movie Time Traveler, and scene I don't know what they call it. I just found out today about it. Um, Tom Hanks is playing the character of the pilot that landed in the Hudson River. So say with the pilot that landed in the Hudson River, I don't even know if that really happened, but because I wasn't there. But say that character had the ability to do that, and then this clip, like the clips I saw, there's this huge board of officials, right? And they're just going over. It's all this official to do. Look, videos, simulations. Let's talk. We got special badges and a special setting, and American flags with the yellow around it. You know, which is means that's Admiralty law, right? So we found out. But anyways, it's all this like they're actually doing something, but they're not actually doing anything. Now, say the character of the pilot, he did something. He was able to actually do something. But them, it's just gesture without motion. It's just a big facade. And when we were tricked into believing the facade and putting ourselves, our energy into it, it fueled that system, which means that it fueled most of the people around you, maybe all of them. And they're children of the spider. They get you caught up in these webs of stories. Um, I need a driver's license to travel in a motor vehicle. right? And per their legal code, driving means using the roads and highways for business purposes. So when you're, per their legal code, going to and from work, that's not considered driving. So you don't need a driver's license. It's traveling. I, look it up. That's per the legal codes and statutes, which only apply to the government employees. If you're a hardcore truther, you know these things. So, anyways, before those things were being shown, because we're doing it, and it's just the way things are set up. At the base root, it's going to be shown whether the system and its children like it or not, and because it's at a base root thing. And if you're like me, you feel what I'm saying at core level. But before we bought in to those stories that we needed a driver's license, so we were fueling it. And it was see, this is just one example of the one dogma. Submit, obey, don't question. Thou shalt not know selves. You have many selves, like possible ways to express. So the pilot, he was actually able to do something, and in the short clip that I'm going to attach to this video in the description, there's just big facade, and it's like, oh, the officials are doing something, but they're not really doing anything at all. They're just feeding off of, say, if the event did happen, an actual event where someone actually did something. And like, say, your interest, maybe there's all show, your interest in it help fuel the facade on the news and people talking about it. You fueled it. Now, say the deleted scene in the Time Traveler, the short deleted scene that I put in the description, the character of the scientist was actually able to do real science. And he was getting in trouble by the administration of the university for doing real science. Thou shalt not know. And he's like, no, you're supposed to just teach them our science, like, which is just talk. It's just, it's a big, one gigantic big ritual to fuel this, like, it's like a black hole. And but around the black hole, it does things, appearances. It's even tried to appear that it's the only God. It's even gone that far. But anyways, that black hole, it appears that it's like us, because it's sucked up so much of our energy. Like, it's like the center. And it's even at times in past lifetimes appeared that it is the God, and it is not the God. And its children are most of the people surrounding you, and they are an extension of this thing, that there's nothing at its core, really. And it doesn't have that deep root like that we have. But at the surface, around the circle of the black hole, that thing would like to be like us, and figured maybe if it consumed enough of our energy, maybe it could become like us, but for whatever reason it can't. And most of the people around you, especially the ones close to you, they are extensions of it, and giving you these narratives where you get caught up in, and you pay all this emotional energy to it, it fuels them and therefore fuels this thing. And when you realize that that's not you, like the things that like you're still like having difficulties letting go of, when you realize that that was all based off of a fiction. That's not you. And they are not what you believe they were. So why would you feel that way anymore? It's time to wake up. And when you get to the base root of like what you are, those etheric chords fly off. And it's time to have some fun. And it's time to create. See, when I was doing a lot of bachelorette parties, captaining, the party boats. That's another thing that came to mind. It's all these rituals for nothing. Like it's just like, oh, we gotta fly down from say New York or wherever, go to Florida and rent a hotel and put on this big party and talk to the captain and pay the company and give him a tip and blah, this whole da 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 for what? To write down on a piece of paper these two beings, like they'll write on a piece of paper that they are together now, and like on the piece of paper like the all caps name, that's not even them anyways. I mean, it kind of is because it's a corpse oration. Corpse orations are legally people, right? But the all caps name is not. Well, for you can't even be a name. But all caps name is not your name. There's nothing in the English language that is in all caps. I got really sidetracked there. Anyways, it's all this. Oh, we gotta send out invitations to the wedding, and the girls are from New York to South Florida, and hotel rooms and blah, blah, for like what I'm saying. It's just a bit for what? There's it's entertainment. And what's really going on and what you really are is none of this. And keep in mind too, like when a thought comes up or a person that makes you like say tense, emotionally charged, like but tense, like oh you need to they'll say something like you need to worry about blah 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 blah, and they get you worried about whatever they're saying. What you really need to worry about is them. It's much simpler than what we were shown, the stories we were shown. Not always, but most of the time, when someone's like, gets you caught up, blah, 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 and all you need is anxiety because you better do this, whatever, pay the IRS or something. It's the real problem is not you having to invest yourself and put yourself into the situation. The real problem is that situation. And if someone's bringing something up to you to make you fearful or tense, whatever excuse they're using is bullshit. It's really them. So they can, if you place yourself back into these bullshit stories, because when you really look at it, what you're led to believe, the narratives or whatever, is not what anything is. It's just fairy tale land. It's like it's like walking on the beach during August and your feet are burning on the sand, and you are believing because the people around you are saying your feet are burning because you didn't say your prayers every night to Santa Claus, and now he's upset with you, so your feet are burning. Instead of like, no, it's just fucking sand, and it's hot as fuck. It's out of touch, out of touch with what actually is. Again, I know I'm being repetitive, but just like say the officials with the overviewing the plane crash and there's nothing happening. Cop pulls you over. You broke a law because your tail light just went out. No, the problem is you didn't break the law. They're they're breaking some sort of like law by threatening violence on you if you don't stop. Basically, they'll beat you up, throw you in a cage, or if you don't comply with that, they'll murder you. I know I've been using the cops a lot, but what I'm saying is like it's those are actually the problems, and don't buy into like say like in that scenario that you're the criminal. And you'd be amazed because the narratives you were given are so out of whack of what actually is. Reality is not the same as actuality. You'd be surprised that even oh that's crazy that would never. If you tap into the feel of what is actually going on, what you actually are and where you are, you'd be surprised, and you should start trusting yourself more. That's what, yeah. Test it out for yourself.